Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivarlive. Well, it's Monday, 11 o'clock, and we're here for another Real Estate Talk with Beth, where each week we cover something and it's Bolivar.
It's always Bolivar.
We don't cover Southeast Texas. It's all about real estate on Bolivar Peninsula. And it could be a house for sale. It could be condos being built.
It could be,
Could be a lot.
Or it could be property
Taxes.
Yeah,
And
which is huge right now.
everyone got sticker shock
I think
about
so.
a month and a half ago.
They're just rolling out. I mean, I was calling you 2 weeks ago. I'm like, my phone is blowing up.
Yeah.
People were calling. So let's talk about it.
Yeah,
You ready?
because just hear me out. It's bullshit. I'm just going to say blunt. Here's my opinion. I think they went off the last 2 years, and we all know home sales skyrocketed over the last 2 years, and there were a lot of homes that were sold for a lot more, in my opinion, than they should have been
in the
sold.
market value,
because it's all
It was
about
a feeding
supply and
frenzy.
demand.
Right.
Supply and demand. But now we're back to reality.
And reality is setting in.
It is.
And unfortunately, the appraisal district, I don't think is current with what the values are right now.
No, because they saw an opportunity. Oh man, let's go ahead and roll these taxes out. Look what they sold for the last 2 years.
Right. So,
And now everyone's like, I didn't pay. And we had a lady come in here that they built their house. They paid for it in cash. They had a spreadsheet. It doesn't matter if it was a doorknob or a faucet handle. They had a spreadsheet with for the exact cost of what they spent, and it was over double what they had spent on the house, and it wasn't even finished whenever the taxes.
It's bad.
It's
I had
crazy.
a client who their appraised value went up $350,000 in 1 year, and what's interesting on investment property, there's not a cap to it, but I ran the numbers. I can't sell that house for what they had it valued at. He cannot sell that house for what they had the value at. So that's where it's important to get the right value, and that's why it's important to fight it.
I know Kathy, that works here. She was like, "Man, I got to talk to Beth because I just got my taxes," and she was like white. I said, don't worry. She'll walk you through on what you need to do. And if you need a day off, you can go down there and...
Because it takes a little while. Once you get that protest scheduled and go in there and fight your case, it's a process. So it'll probably take about a half a day. But let's just go through it a little bit, okay?
And this is the steps you need to take.
Right. And how important it really is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yes, it is that time of year again. We all got those documents in the paper telling you that you've gotten your notice. Once you get your notice, you have up until May 15th or 30 days from the time that you receive it to file your protest. Now,
that's really not that long of a time.
It's not that long of a time. And personally, we have been fighting ours from last year. We're still in the process of fighting it. So they haven't given us a resolution on it yet. So fight your taxes, folks. That's all I have to say.
So what happens, you're still fighting your taxes from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have to pay what they wanted?
We haven't paid. Yeah, oh yes, we did. We had to pay what we wanted, but we're still fighting it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or you had to pay what they wanted, and then if the resolution's made, they refund that?
I've never heard of the tax office refunding money.
Okay.
Never heard of it. And like some people's square footage may be wrong. Like they may have it as more, and when, let's say they're selling their house, and we find out that the square footage is different, they're not going to get a refund after they've been paying for years.
So if something's wrong, you need to take care of it that year.
You need to take care of it. That's why it's important to always check it and protest it. I always say protest it no matter what.
Yeah.
Fight it.
Because if you can get a little bit each year, it adds
up. It
helps,
yeah. So you can challenge it. That's the important thing to know, is if it's too high, too low, whatever the factors may be, challenge it. there may be some incorrect information on there. If you have a homestead exemption, you need to let them know that. If you have an over 65 exemption, that's important. If you're a full-time resident here, file that homestead exemption.
Right.
Yeah. And if the taxes are higher here than they are where you may have your other house, which is more important to file that homestead exemption.
Right.
Property, is it too high? The reasons why you need to. One of them would be it's too high. The other one is to ensure that the property value is correct, because not only does it help you, it helps your neighbors.
Right. If everyone goes
If
in and
everybody goes
protests,
through and does it, then it helps
Okay.
everybody surrounding you. Understanding the process, they have access to our information in MLS. So that's where they're getting most of their numbers. But they're supposed to show you what they're using for comps. So you can get that information from them.
Right.
And then call me and I can show you what things are actually selling for right now. It may be the same things they have, and there may be not a lot you can do about it, but it's always important to look at it and check. What is your property worth? That's what I just mentioned. Looking at what is actually happening right now.
Yeah.
And I had a client come to me and they didn't close on their house until March of 2023, new construction. Well, the tax appraiser had it assessed in 2022. And I'm like, how is that even possible?
Yeah, the house
So the
wasn't-
improvements weren't done.
all they have to show is when their final inspection
Right.
was, and that'll take care of that
I would
part
hope.
of it.
I would hope.
I would think so.
Yeah. Let's see. Why is it? Okay. Filing the protest, like I said before, you have until May 15th or 30 days from the day that you receive it, whichever is later.
So if you get it May 1st, you have until June 1st or May 31st.
30 days, whatever, however many
Yeah.
days are in May. I don't know that poem. And gather your evidence. If you know that the square footage is different and you have a source that you can prove that,
Like a
have that
drawing.
Having your own third-party appraiser give you that information on the square footage. Your builder, if it's new construction, they're going to have that floor plan showing
Right.
if the square footage is different. And then if you need comps, like I said, you can reach out to me. I can help you. Reach out to your local realtor that you trust, and they can help you get that information. So it should
But
be
down
done.
here, we've had some outside realtors, and I say outside because they don't typically do business on Bolivar. They may not know some of the things that a local realtor would know on what's really happening. Like, we do shows every week.
Right.
And I've had people say, man, she really keeps up with what's happening. Well, that's part of covering your territory.
Well, and the Texas Association of Realtors and the Texas Real Estate Commission, they really want us to hone in on an area.
On an area.
And know your area.
Right.
It's important to them. So when I do have a client that is concerned about their appraisal, I look at what the neighbors are doing. And you can go into the appraisal district and see what your neighbors are valued at.
Right.
That's another tool to use when you're fighting.
But if
those.
everyone went up 200,000, it's not going to help you a whole lot.
Not everybody did.
But you can look at the price per square foot, what the home has, how old it is. All that plays into facts
Right.
on what your home's actually worth. Was it pre-Ike? Was it post-Ike? Used to be, I think, zoning, or
the V zone.
the V zone used to make some difference, but now that doesn't. I don't think that really
makes
a
any
difference now.
anymore.
So cool.
What else? Attending the hearing, yes. If you do, you don't find a resolution on the first thing, then you'll go to an actual hearing. And you sit in front of that board. So it's, again, important to have all your good documents ready to go for that hearing. And hopefully you win.
Yeah.
If you still don't have an agreement at that point, you may want to hire an attorney or a professional that actually does this.
So there are people that all they do is
yes,
fight.
and reach out to me because I have some sources that I can refer you to for that information for people who do this for a living.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't. How I can help, and like I said, I can give you what the market is actually doing right now, what your neighbors are selling for. And that's important to know, because they shouldn't be assessing your value with somebody who's across the peninsula.
Right.
Like if you're in Gilchrist, you can't be compared to Biscayne. That's a different house. So a different area. So it's important to know that specific area and what's going on there.
Cool.
There you go. That's my story on the tax appraisal. The important thing that I want to say is fight it.
Right.
Don't
just sit
let
back
it
and
sit there. Right.
I know that a lot of people say, well, it's that time of year again. You know, and my mom, years ago, she used to, every year she went down. I think she was on first name basis with the people because she'd made her trip. Now she doesn't have to worry about
because
it, really.
She's over 65, I'm sure.
In fact, she just turned 90 week before last. And
so you do get those exemptions if you're over 65.
I think if she's 90, she shouldn't have to pay any tax.
Well, I'm not going to go into that. I think that the property tax portion is important. But it's important to have the right value.
Right.
And it's our job to help them get to that right value, because they're not our enemy.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Well, Beth, if someone has a question, how can they get hold of you? Because I know you're already working on some other people that have asked for help. How can they get hold of you and talk to you?
You can call me. I'm at 214-801-9801. You can reach out to me on our website, WeSellCrystalbeach.com. I'm here. I'm across from the big store. We have an office. Catty-corner, wide office building at the corner of Surfside and 87. Come see me. I'm not always there because I'm out selling houses, but best bet is to call or text me.
Yeah. And you can catch our show here every Monday at 11 a.m. where we're always talking real estate and we're always talking Bolivar Peninsula, and she's always drinking a cup of coffee.
It's about my second or third.
Yeah, I talked to Chris a while ago and she said, how you doing? I said, I think I overdid the coffee this morning. I'm a little jittery because, well, I came in early because of the storms.
Oh, yeah.
And wanted to see what was going to happen, and we did one of our feeds earlier, and so anyway, but we'll be back next week at 11 a.m. Remember, you can now see Bolivar Live on Bolivar Live TV on our Roku and Amazon Fire. And now you don't even have to have social media. You can see it straight off our website. And starting May 1st, in fact, we've already started loading all the shows. Every Bolivar Live feed is going to be on Bolivar Live TV. Every business that advertises through Bolivar Live and sponsors these feeds, like Beth does, is going to be on Bolivar Live TV, and you can see our shows. We've got playlists. You can see it live, or you can see the catalog of their shows under their names.
Okay, so how does that work?
You go to our website, and it says new Bolivar Live TV. You click on it, and it takes you to our Bolivar Live page and talks about what all we do and shows the partners.
Okay, or you could go to Roku.
Or you can go to Roku and just search Bolivar Live TV.
Okay, or
Amazon Fire.
Okay.
And if you do it online, it's the exact same channel as on Roku and Amazon Fire. It's just some people didn't have it. Some people don't like Facebook or YouTube or social media. I can tell you that you can watch our shows on YouTube and you don't have to join. Like on Instagram and Facebook, you have to join in order to see. On YouTube, you can go to YouTube and type in, Bolivar Peninsula Tourism and Visitor Center or at Bolivar Live TV, and it shows our channel.
And this is going on forever, I'm sorry. But I did get your newsletter today.
Yes.
And you had a link there for the Bolivar Live TV.
Yep, I've got it there. Okay. We've got your show on it every week, so if they miss it, they can always watch your show there.
So, and I asked you this last week, or this week. You could also put that app on your phone, right?
We don't have an app,
okay.
But we're talking about getting one, because I've had you and several people talk about, what if we had a Bolivar Live TV app where they didn't have to go to Roku or your website or anything, and so we're working on that.
But your website's interactive, so you
yes.
can just put it on your home
Yes.
screen. Okay,
And that's what
I
I've
thought.
done. You know, I've got my website on my screen, and you can put a page on your screen,
Okay.
like just Bolivar Live TV. And so you don't have to go through the front
So
page
do that,
every
and you can
yeah.
watch my show every
You can watch your
all the
show every
time.
week. And if you're on YouTube, you can hit the bell, and it will notify you anytime we're live. So you can watch all the shows. So we're going to head on out. We've been babbling
Sorry.
on long enough. Too much coffee for both of us. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live with Beth from 110 Realty Group. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye. 110 Realty Group on Bolivar Peninsula, located in Crystal Beach, Texas, believes finding the perfect home or property is a necessity for every client. That it's crucial to provide relevant, up-to-date information on the market, properties, and homes for sale to each and every seller or buyer. Keeping up with the market in today's world is how 110 Realty Group exceeds expectations for their clients. 110 Realty Group in Crystal Beach, Texas are your real estate sales professionals, both in beach home sales and property sales. Finding the perfect custom home on Bolivar Peninsula is a specialty of Beth and Leslie Armstrong. Keeping up with the daily changes and available homes, properties, and the changing market makes 110 Realty Group the choice for several custom builders for spec homes and investors looking for short-term rentals, along with home buyers looking for that perfect beach house for their family. 110 Realty Group for all your real estate needs on Bolivar Peninsula, in Galveston County, and across Texas.